Sean Strickland is the new UFC middleweight champion of the world. He shocks the world and beats Israel Adesanya 49-46 unanimous decision. What a shocker. I did not think this was going to happen. I obviously picked Israel Adesanya to win by decision, but it was the other way around. Sean Strickland puts the pressure on Israel Adesanya and pretty much dominated him almost every single round. He dropped him in the first round, almost finished him with a ground and pound. I mean, it wasn't really a ground and pound because Izzy got up. But my goodness, bro, what a performance from Sean. I mean, it was pretty much like every other Sean Strickland performance, but he did it on the grandest stage. He did it against one of the best fighters on the planet in Israel Adesanya. And Israel Adesanya looked horrible. This was the worst performance from Israel Adesanya by far. Like, if I had to compare, like, even his loss against, Alex Pereira and his loss against Jan Blachowicz, this was far worse. He looked terrible. Like, he looked gassed, especially in the 4th and 5th rounds. He looked tired. He looked like that pressure was getting to him. Like, Sean Strickland was applying that pressure, and Izzy did not know what to do with it. I mean, he looked like, he pretty much, like, fought how he fought Cannonier and Marvin Vettori. But the thing is with Sean that he's always just going to keep marching forward. While, Vettori and Cannonier, they're kind of like, they stand still for quite a while, and then Izzy can just kick at range and throw head kicks here and there. But Sean, he's always going to be marching forward. That's what he does in every single fight. He's always going to be the aggressor. He's always going to be the one applying that pressure, and that's what he did pretty much every single round. I believe that Izzy only won the second round, in my honest opinion, but every other round was Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland was landing the better shots. His boxing looked, I call Lucas Tracy a madman for saying that Sean Strickland is a better boxer than Israel Adesanya. I'm going to apologize to Lucas Tracy right now. Lucas, you were 100% correct. I apologize. He is a better boxer than Izzy. He obviously showed it. That jab was really piecing up Izzy badly. Like, he was hitting him with clean jabs pretty much throughout the whole fight. Izzy did not know what to do with that. It was just really bad, man. This was an awful performance from Izzy. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he's going to come up with an excuse after this fight. We're going to see on the YouTube channel or on Twitter or wherever the hell he posts. But yeah, man, listen, Sean Strickland, I can't believe that Sean Strickland is the middleweight champion. Of all people to become the middleweight champion, there's Robert Whittaker's, there's obviously Izzy's and Pereira's. We got Sean Strickland. But Sean Strickland is a great fighter, man. I got to give Sean Strickland some credit, and he showed up. He showed up 100%. He deserves to be the champion right now. And in my honest opinion, should he fight Izzy again in a rematch? I don't think so. I don't believe so. I think Izzy looks so poor in this fight that he shouldn't get a rematch. He should not get a rematch. I honestly, genuinely believe that. This fight was not close enough to me for Izzy to get a rematch. But knowing the UFC, they're going to give him a rematch. Let's just be honest. Izzy is going to get the rematch against Sean Strickland probably later down the line, maybe in February, and it's not going to be Driscus or whoever. I believe it should be Driscus versus Sean Strickland for the middleweight championship, but obviously the UFC is thinking about money. The UFC don't really think that Driscus is a title contender. He is a title contender. They think he's the title contender, but he's not a big money draw. Izzy is one of the biggest names in the company. They're obviously going to have them running back, and it's going to be ridiculous. Izzy could definitely win the next fight, but this performance was so poor that they shouldn't rematch it. I honestly believe that they shouldn't rematch. I don't think that Izzy should get a rematch, in my honest opinion. I really don't. I don't care that he was the champion. Izzy got smoked in this fight. Smoked. So, Izzy fans, before you get on my ass for saying that he doesn't deserve the rematch, listen to me right now. You think that performance that he just put on warrants him to get a rematch? Are you serious? He just won his title back. It's not like he was on a 10-fight, title streak, winning streak. He just got his title back in March or April, I believe. Was it March or April? Whatever. I think April. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. In my opinion, it should be Driscus du Plessis, but they're not going to do that fight because Driscus is not a big name in the sports. That's just how it is. So they're going to probably do Sean Strickland versus Izzy 2, and they're going to probably do it in February or, early on in the year, maybe March, around there. I think that should be plenty of time for both guys, and I think they're going to do that fight once again. I think Dana White right now is doing a press conference as I'm recording this video, so maybe he's gonna, I mean, he always gives like, oh, I don't make make fights on the night of pay-per-views or whatever, so he's probably not even gonna, talk about anything that has to do with Izzy versus Sean Strickland right now. But I do believe that Izzy's gonna get the rematch. That's just how it is. Listen, he's going to get the Conor McGregor treatment in this situation because he's one of the biggest names in the sport. If John Jones lost to Stipe Miocic, they're obviously going to rematch it. And if let's just say that he somehow gets smoked by Stipe Miocic and he loses Stipe badly, they're going to give him the rematch because it's John Jones. You know what I mean? And same thing with Conor McGregor. It's the same thing. These bigger names have more privileges because they're bigger names. That's just how it is. So Izzy's going to get the rematch and not Driscus. So there it is. But Sean Strickland, congratulations on becoming the new middleweight champion. Of all people, somebody who is definitely says whatever the hell he says on his mind. Whatever he pretty much thinks in his brain, he pretty much says. He has no filter whatsoever. He's politically incorrect or whatever the fuck people say. I don't give a shit. But he's entertaining. He's a very entertaining figure, in my opinion. I think Sean Strickland is great, even though sometimes he's a little off the rails at times. But I still think he's very entertaining, so I'm glad that he is the champion. Real quick, we're going to get into the co-main events. The co-main event was Tai Tuivasa and Volkov. I was wrong, obviously. I went 0 for 2 in the predictions. Fuck me, I guess, right? Yeah, I mean, Tai Tuivasa didn't look great. He kind of fought like how I thought he was going to fight, but I thought he was going to land the big shot, in my opinion. I thought that's what's going to happen. But Volkov did what he needed to do. Alexander Volkov did what he exactly needed to do. He pretty much just pieced him up, and then he eventually got the submission. He kept him at range, kept him at bay, and outstruck him badly. I mean, it was lopsided. It wasn't even close. I mean, this fight was not close whatsoever. Tai Tuivasa, I don't know what's next. This was a 3-fight skid, I believe. I think that's the 3rd fight in a row that he's dropped. Obviously, he's not going to be, because he's a big name still. Like, obviously, people still care about Tai Tuivasa. But I wouldn't mind, honestly, the two Australians go up against each other. Justin Tafa and Tai Tuivasa. Do it. Why not? I think that sounds like a fun fight. In my opinion, that should be next for me, in my opinion, for Tai Tuivasa. And Volkov, I don't know what's next for him. I really don't know the landscape of the heavyweight division right now currently. But yeah, that was a great performance by him. He completely dominated. He did what he needed to do, and he finishes Tai Tuivasa in the 2nd round by submission. I think it was called the Ezekiel choke or submission or something like that. I never even heard of that before. Call me a casual. I really don't care. But yeah, great performance. I really just thought that the power of Volkov was not going to affect Tai Tuivasa that much, to the point where he's going to be, he threw. It didn't matter what type of power Volkov had. He was going to throw, like Tai Tuivasa was going to throw regardless. He was going to throw haymakers up the ass. He couldn't give less of a shit, to be honest. So, but yeah, he loses, and yeah, it is what it is for Tai Tuivasa. And Manel Kape got a great victory, to me, fight in the night, or fight in the main card, because I didn't watch the prelims because I was busy doing other stuff. And yeah, that was a great fight. What he said after, holy shit, what the fuck? Apparently somebody earlier on also said that word. I'm not going to repeat it because obviously, what in the world? He said that, and he said that about, I believe, he said about City Kickboxing and Kai Car France. They pretty much showed Kai Car France and Manel Kape, and Manel Kape was talking all kinds of shit to him, calling him a piece of shit, and then he called him that word. So, yeah, that was pretty much it. Well, obviously, the other 2 fights before, Justin Tafa gets a good knockout victory, I believe, over that football, Austin Lane or whatever, against a football player. That was a great finish. And I think it was a Tyson Pedro beats that one dude who calls himself the Pleasure, whatever the fuck, the Mom's Pleasure, whatever the fuck his nickname is. I couldn't give less of a shit. But that was a great finish as well. This was a great card, honestly. The main event, The main event, even though it was a great win for Sean Strickland, the main event was okay. It was a solid fight, but it wasn't anything too crazy. But overall, I think a very good card, even though it was lackluster when it came to the name value. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe if you are new. I'll see you soon with another one. Peace out.